This is a really quick video giving my take on the new LVO reveals. I'm only going to be looking at the skirmish games, so this will just be for Kill Team, Warcry and Warhammer Underworlds. First up, we have Kill Team and Soul Shackle box, which is the third box in the Into the Dark series. We just have the final Gala Dark left. Each box is quarterly, and we had Shadow Vaults go for pre-order in October, so I'd expect to see Soul Shackle go up pretty soon. We have the same type of scenery with a few additions. In this box we get breachable walls and consoles, which I think is a really great addition. Personally, I think the way the scenery has been done across this season isn't great. For Kill Team, we just need one box. And once we get Gala Dark, we'll have enough for 2 full boards of 40k boarding actions, whether we want to or not. That said, this box does look like a good one. Teams in the box are the RBTs and the Dark Eldar. The Adeptus RBTs are the Imperial Law. They're originally inspired by the Judges out of Judge Dredd, and are very like the FBI. This box has 12 models for the RBTs, including the Cybermastiff. This is similar to the Imperial Navy Breachers, and it's worked out pretty well for them. We've already had a number of human kill teams, so it'll be interesting to see how the design team make the RBTs distinct and unique. The article mentions that you can build them all with shotguns or all with riot shields, so it sounds like it'll be a really good kit. It'll be of particular interest in Necromunda players, where they could work well with the Enforcers. Moving over to the Dark Eldar. This is just a box of Cabalites, along with an upgrade sprue. The pattern of one awesome new team along with an upgrade sprue for an existing one is a little annoying, but I quite like the Cabalite box. The box has 10 warriors, and of particular interest it comes with 2 heavy weapons and 2 special weapons. You can see pictured the Splinter Cannon and the Shredder, but there's also a Dark Lance and a Blaster, although normally you only make 1 heavy weapon and 1 special weapon. These kind of weapons make a big difference in the field, so the real question is whether we'll be able to take more than 1 heavy weapon and more than 1 special weapon. For Warhammer Underworlds, we have Grizel's Arenae, 5 Sisters of Slaughtered Gladiators. This warband is due for release in February, along with the Beastbound Assault Rivals deck. Their deck is themed around Flourish cards, which have a big effect but also a big drawback. Daring Flourish, as an example, gives +1 dice to friendly melee attacks, but also -1 dice to friendly defense. This looks like it'll be a fun warband, operating very much as a glass cannon. Fingers crossed we get to see some Warcry rules for them as well. Speaking of which, we have the next Warcry box, Bloodbound. Like with Soul Shackle, this is the 3rd box in the Heart of Gur season for Warcry. Again, we only have 1 left for this, which is called Nightmare Quest. The last box, Sundered Fate, went up for pre-order in November, so we're probably expecting this new box around late March. The 2 factions continue the Warcry approach of introducing new takes on the classics. Here we have vampires and Khorne, but not as you'd imagine. The Vampire Warband are the Askurgan Trueblades. This isn't the first time they've been mentioned. The Askurga Renkai were an order of vampires in Gur who refused to prey upon those weaker themselves, but instead hunted more powerful beasts. They were supposedly wiped out, but I guess not. A few people have said they're getting a bit of a Japanese vibe from this, presumably from the robes, but personally I think this is an African-inspired style, with the beast form looking a bit like a hyena to me. With only 8 vampires in total, we're probably looking at something a little bit more elite like the Chaos Legionnaires. Facing them we have the Claws of Karanak, Karanak being the big flesh hound. As a Chaos warband, they are going to have a good selection of allies that they can get. Alas, there's no way currently to get a flesh hound into this new warband. Again, we only have 8 fighters, so we can expect the warband to be relatively tough. The spears and flails often have a reach of 2, which can be handy, while the more elite fighters in this warband have 2 weapons, which normally indicates extra attacks and more damage. The models all look fantastic, and no doubt will end up in some great conversions for some other games. As an extra note, although not directly part of Warcry, we did get to see some of the new models for the Lizardmen. These look great, especially the Saurus Warriors, who will no doubt be making it into some warbands using the existing rules in Warcry. Thanks for making it all the way to the end. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Each week I put up a new video talking about one of Games Workshop's specialist games. The goal is always to try and make the best possible 2-player experience. If this is something you'd find interesting, please subscribe to the channel and comment to let me know what you'd like to see in future.